happened?
That's what was funny about the video because no, like it was Triple J and then Tyler Hero comes running out of nowhere trying to break. I'm like, what is y'all finna do? Like the thing is the deed has already been done. Where'd y'all come from? Because I'm just like, why did Tyler Hero think he was gonna get any hit in? That was funny, but it's the effort that counts.
Tyler Hero wasn't gonna throw no punch.
He really wasn't.
Nah, but he might. He from Milwaukee. He from Milwaukee, so he get crazy.
Yeah, he can get crazy in spirit because I have never seen that. Shout out Tyler Hero though.
Yo, Tyler Hero, she violated you. She said you get crazy in the spirit. In his prayer time.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Florida, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. They'll also match your first deposit up to $100, and you get a special pick when you sign up. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts, Mace and Cam.
Killer, what's good, man?
What up, man? How you doing? Everything? How's your weekend, bro?
It was good, man. I got out of there right before the fight, man. I was in Atlanta, man.
Oh, he's in Atlanta. How's Atlanta? How's the weather?
It was good, you know. I had like 50 niggas with me.
Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay.
I don't know what that means either. Well, let's get started. Speaking of Atlanta, I'm sure you guys have seen the video that's been circulating. It's kind of going viral right now. Cam Newton was actually jumped at a 7-on-7 youth football tournament in Atlanta. 3 people ran up on him, and it was eventually broken up by officers. Thoughts on the video that's been circulating?
That was kids?
I don't even know the age range. There's not even enough details yet, but it was at a youth football camp, so I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
That was crazy, man. See, this is what I'm saying. Like, I'm gonna let Cam go first. Cam, why you let this happen, Cam?
I'm not feeding into that this morning. Cam Newton's supposed to come on this week, so hopefully we can get more detail on this situation that happened to him this past weekend. But what I'll say is this, watching the video, not even that video, this is the 3rd viral incident with Cam Newton and kids at camp. This isn't the first time he got into anything with people at camp, especially kids. I remember he did the camp right after they lost the Super Bowl. The kid was saying, "Did you give Von Miller some flowers for Valentine's Day? Did you give Von Miller a Father's Day card? Because that's the Super Bowl where he was scared." I guess they were saying he was scared to grab the ball or whatever. Von Miller was all over him. Then he gets into another camp that he's at. He gets into an incident where a kid is saying, "Nobody wants you. You're a free agent." Cam is going back with the kid saying, "I'm rich." He's like, "But nobody wants you." He's like, but I'm rich." He said, "You're about to be poor," he told Cam. Cam's going back and forth with the kids. You know what I'm saying? Even another situation when Cam Newton said, "Your bum ass Crocs you got on your feet." So the kids are starting from the videos that I've seen. He's never starting it, but he's always back and forth with engaging in the argument with the youth at the football camps. There's a past incident. It's too many stories I heard. That's why I would rather hear from somebody that's credible, especially if it was Cam Newton, that he got jumped. Then he was breaking up a fight, and they tried to jump him while he was breaking up a fight with somebody else, so on and so forth. This is up to Cam if he wants to keep doing this, because it seems like he's trying to come to these camps and they keep disrespecting him camp after camp after camp. Now, I ain't gonna front. When I was young, I was ignorant. I'm still ignorant from time to time. But these little niggas is ignorant. These little niggas say, yo, the disrespect in these videos for Cam Newton while he's at a camp for NFL MVP, the disrespect is wild. I might used to whisper some of this shit they said. They saying this shit to a nigga face. Yo, did you give Von Miller a Father's Day card is wild. Or Valentine's Day card is wild. Yo, you're a free agent. Nobody wants you. Yo, bro, I don't gotta be here. You know what I'm saying? He's
actually helping them out. Where was the place that he said that about the Crocs? Was all this in Atlanta?
I'm not sure, but they're all at camps. They're all at football camps. Every last situation is at a football camp. I don't know if they're all in Atlanta, but every last situation, you could go up there and type in Cam Newton and altercation at youth camp, and like 5 videos pop up.
I thought that was real interesting, like the way they were fighting, because if that happened in Atlanta, that's very dangerous because everybody's carrying in Atlanta. So it's like that could have went a lot of different ways. I mean, and I'm glad he got out of there safe. I'm glad everybody seemed to be safe. You know, they got a few hands was exchanged, but it didn't look like nothing too crazy happened. It looked like they were trying to get it going, but they never really got to get it going. But I think Cam Newton, he should stay out of those camps, man. Because it would have even been worse if he would have had a firearm or something like that. If somebody had a firearm, it would have been really wrong. You know what I'm saying? So he gotta know that that's a place he can't go. Like some rappers can't go to certain hoods. Cam can't go to camps. If he come up here, I'm gonna let him know that he gotta stay away from those camps. Because it seemed like wherever he goes, people are trying to get paid also. You know what I'm saying? People are trying to get paid. So if they could lure him into something where he knock a kid out, you know, people trying to get paid these days. It seemed like that's the temperature everywhere.
Yeah. Well, my just quick thoughts. It kind of sucks. I feel like to be Cam Newton and be an ex-quarterback and you can't even go to a youth football camp. I just feel like that's crazy. Like the whole thing in itself doesn't make sense. And honestly, like he handled it well because he had 3 guys on him and he honestly threw all of them off. But it's just disrespectful because why? Like if Cam Newton pulls up to a youth football camp, he should be safe. Like he should be excluded from everybody. He should be able to meet and greet with people. So the fact that people even feel the need or even feel comfortable even being able to swing on him is crazy. Like that doesn't make sense. So glad he's okay, but hopefully, you know.
And that's another, and that was just, and I was going to say that, but because I think we didn't get really detailed with the fight. But look, bro, that nigga 6'5", 6'6", 240, 50 pounds, pause, of muscle. He's still, you know, he's ready to play if he got with the right situation. Yo, NFL defensive linemen have problems tackling this nigga. Why would y'all think y'all are gonna tackle this nigga? Like, yo, this nigga, he used to run through niggas when he's, yo, bro, these niggas was getting tossed off. One nigga threw a sucker punch, but why you're not tackling that nigga? That was stupid.
Yeah, it looked like he was having his way out there. But...
This was like a movie. Get off me, man. I think it's a stupid. Yo, bro, grown ass professional tackles can't tackle this nigga. You thought y'all was gonna tackle him?
Facts.
Man, Yo, Cam, if you're watching this, you gotta get so rich you call the cops on them niggas. You gotta go Charleston White. Call the cops on them niggas. Yeah. What if he had to call the cops on him? That would have been wild. Yeah, he gotta get so rich that he feel comfortable calling the cops, man. Cam Newton too rich for that. He couldn't have won even if he won, because if he would have knocked one of them kids out, it would be a lawsuit. I'm not saying he should have, but I'm saying there was no way he was going to win in that situation. If he lost the fight, he was going to be all over the news. And if he went crazy, other than just taking him off him, He would be in court the next day.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay. So moving on to the Warriors, Steve Kerr becomes the highest paid coach after signing a $35 million extension through the 2025 to 2026 season. How do you feel about his extension and future with Golden State?
They gotta pay Steve Kerr. If you think about it, who else they gonna pay? They paying Doc Rivers. Steve Kerr gotta get paid. I know that was the bonus pause in all of this. He's saying, you know what? If they paid Doc Rivers $40 million, my check gotta be crazier than that, man. You can't say Doc got paid more than Steve Kerr. And I know with the new management and what's his name, Mike Dunleavy. Is Mike Dunleavy up there? It seemed like Mike Dunleavy is just throwing the money away because he got to give it to the people that won before he got there. But it doesn't seem like they're looking like they're worth the money at this point, to me. But they had to give him the money either way you look at it. He got four championships. They got to pay him. They got to pay Steve Kerr. But I think he's at the tail end of this Golden State dynasty though. This is just for what he did in the past.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that. To me, it isn't about the money. I think he's supposed to get paid. Great job that Mark Jackson set up for him. Gave him a layup. It was real easy. So, but what I'll say is this, is that I'm real interested at the time. It's only through 25, 26. So that's another 2-year extension. So to me, everybody seems like they're starting to get the writing on the wall in Golden State. Like, we're going to give this another year or two to see if we can rally up something. But we need to start making moves, whether it's players, coaches, or whatever, to keep the franchise afloat. Because right now, they're in 10th place. And they're not used to being in 10th place, at least not in the last decade or so. This is unfamiliar ground for them in the last decade or so. So I think that Mace is absolutely right that they're starting to say, when he's saying the general manager, when he's referring to Dunleavy earlier, that's the general manager, is saying that y'all want me to fix a mess that happened before I got here. Players are getting old. Players are fighting. We're not in the top. We're not in the playoffs. We're in the play-in right now. And if you're a general manager that's new, this is concerning. So I'm happy Steve Kerr got his money. One thing I will say, though, is about this playing situation is that with Steph Curry and, right now, just really Steph Curry being consistent, you can't really count Golden State out of anything, because this is one of them scenarios, let's just say, for instance, and I know it's probably a long shot, they end up getting the 7 or 8 seed and play Oklahoma City or Minnesota. And I know they're looking spectacular this year, but they don't have the playoff experience that Golden State has. And they end up getting out the first round or even out the second round, for instance. And then you sit there and say, oh, it isn't over. It isn't over. I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but it's a possibility with the plan. So I think they're giving everybody another couple years to see what happens before they make any other move. Clay's already agreed to come off the bench and take less money, meaning he doesn't want to go anywhere. So what you going to do with that as well?
So it's interesting you actually brought up Steve Kerr's years in his contract, because him and Steph Curry's contract end the same time, so till the 2026 season. Before we go to the next question, do you guys have any thoughts about that? You think it was intentional? What do y'all think? Yeah,
it's definitely intentional. I mean, and if you think about it, they just put him above Eric Spoelstra? He was the now he's the second highest paid coach, but he earns his money. I not that Steve Kerr doesn't, but I think they should have gave him that money. But I'm really interested to see what happened in 26. I don't think any of that core is going to be there other than Steph. I wouldn't be surprised if Steph playing with a whole new group of people.
Yeah, the answer to the question is I think that was intentional.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then also on the topic of the Warriors, they are 3-1 since putting Klay on the bench. The only game they lost so far was to the Nuggets on Sunday. What does this mean to you that their record is that with Klay coming off the bench?
Killer, you want to go? You want to go? Or you want me to go first? Pause.
It don't matter. Klay looked good the first game off the bench. Didn't look good the games after. So I was hoping that, we talked about this previously, that maybe he was I was saying that maybe he's having a Manu Ginobili moment, but I'm not sure if that's the case as well.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but the key is with the one loss that they had is very important and significant. It's to the Nuggets.
Yeah.
That's who you have to go through in the West. So when you're sitting there trying to make it back to a conference championship or a championship in general, you got to realize that's who you have to go through right now. And if that's not going to be a standard for you, cool. You could be 700-0 until you face the Nuggets. That's just the situation. So the record sounds good, but you lost to the key losses to the people you have to go through.
Yeah. And I would agree with Cam. It looked like he was on to something the first time when he had the 35, but then he shows up with 3 after that, and then he shows up again with 13. But in his Denver game, he had 23. So, I mean, it looked like he was back, but that's not enough, It really matters that they win the games that count. And when he's not winning the games that count and he keeps saying he want to change his role, it's with so many changes you can make, he's going to be out the door. I could see him in Orlando somewhere playing with P5. Welcome to Florida, Klay. Because niggas not going to keep playing with Klay. They can't disrespect him, so they got to just move on from it. That's what I think. I think, I'm going to use Killer term, the writing is on the wall. Klay is out of there, bro. I hate to say it, but Klay, you out of there. Look for houses in Orlando. That's where you might be going. For real. I'm going to be straight, man. After I saw that fight with Cam, I just got to be straight with people, man.
Yeah, you're definitely right. And it's kind of setting up Klay to kind of have this exit. Because like we just said, Steve Kerr just had a contract extension. Steph Curry's is the same till 2025, 2026.
Yeah, they can't keep paying all this money, Stat, to lose. Oh, my bad for cutting you off. They can't keep paying money to lose.
Oh, yeah, you're good. You're right. Klay's the only one who has a whole bunch of uncertainty, and I think that's for a reason. But it's the truth, but it's the hard truth. Yeah. Okay. So Wemby had a 5x5 record game versus the Lakers. He had 27 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists, 5 steals, and 5 blocks. He joins Michael Jordan as the only player to have 5 blocks and 5 steals in consecutive games. So just him and MJ have that record. Do you think Wemby is setting himself up to be the next face of the league?
Killer, is that enough? The eye test for you have. He's up there with Michael Jordan now.
Niggas last in the league, bro. Listen, everybody who's a franchise player, and his stats, you're going to go to his stats. His stats is good, and I know he's not playing with the best cast in the world. But even if it's LeBron James, Melo, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, not saying they all took their team anywhere in the beginning, especially Kobe. But you got to be able to say, fuck that a couple games, bro. 11 games is crazy, bro. Now, when you go to his stat sheet, they say rookie of the year all over the place. The stats is amazing, but it's not the stats. It's back to what Mace just said, the eye test. I don't see them saying, move, get out my way. The game is on the line. Move, you know what? Pop, put me back in. I think I got us tonight. I don't see none of that. Stats are tremendous as far as being face of the league. Now, look, that's another thing. You got to see what's marketable. Let me ask you, who do you think is the face of the league right now? Mason. Right now, you just had to pick.
LeBron and Steph.
Yeah, I'm going to still go with LeBron. That's a great answer, LeBron and Steph. Next
Yeah.
thing we gotta do is this. As far as I mean, I don't care either way. It doesn't matter to me. But the way it's looking now, the next person. That's why I was saying Jason Tatum says he wanted, and Ant-Man says he wanted, because I'm not sure if the NBA wants to make the face of the league a non-American.
Yeah.
Because what if it's the Joker? What if it's Luka? What if it's Giannis? That means the face of the NBA would not be an American player. And the game's grown outside of us, which we all know that already. But that means the best player in the world is not from America.
I mean, but that wouldn't be new. That's like where the culture is going. I mean, you look at somebody like Drake, he's the face of rap, but he's not from America. So it's kind of
But,
like
but
where the world is going.
I mean, it's been a lot. Justin Bieber, Canada got a lot of good artists, but I'm talking about as far as marketing is concerned for the NBA.
Mhm.
You know, you had Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird,
Who
Kobe
would you
Bryant,
like it to
Shaq.
be out of all those people? The new
I'm
guys.
not
Who
to,
would
to
you like?
be honest with you. Look, I think it's still LeBron, and I think it's Steph to a certain extent. But to be honest with you, it might be Giannis. It might be the Joker. It might listen. It ain't no Americans like that unless you're talking about like Anthony Edwards or Jason Tatum. But if you ask me, the leading candidates are not American.
Yeah. I think that right now with all the trouble that players are getting in, Tatum or Tatum or what's his name? Shea would be the safest bet. They're the ones that seem like they got control of what they do outside the court. You know what I'm saying? Because that plays into who you allow to be the face as well. You don't need the person who's the face of the NBA to be, to be getting in trouble. So that's what I think.
Then kind of to Cam's point, because you were saying maybe it's usually like American. Given that SJ is Canadian, do you think that plays a factor to kind of give it to Jason Tatum, or you still think that just doesn't matter?
I think he's the one at this point. If I had to pick somebody, I would go with Shea because he's the one that has been the most consistent. Like not just like playing off the court. He never really gets in any trouble. And I mean, he came to the game dripping. You know what I'm saying? He come to the game fly. So it's kind of you want the camera on somebody that's gonna make it look good. Pause. You know what I'm saying? And he come to the games right. He playing good. He talking crazy, but he's also not getting in trouble. So he seemed like a safe bet. That's what I'm saying.
That makes sense. I'm just gonna add a little, kind of like a little case against that. I'm starting to think like at
You
first
hate
we're
on
always
Shea?
like, okay. No. I think he's a great player, but like the way things are going, and as I'm paying attention more and more and more, it kind of looks like they're waiting for that shift to be Wemby because it's like obviously when he was first drafted, we're like he's gonna dominate the league as soon as he gets in. Given his team, it's taking him a while, but it's always his scores being at the forefront. And then like now you see LeBron and Wemby both posting each other with the alien and the king crown, like that, just having LeBron kind of right there in your corner is kind of helping give that shift. And then we already know he has a super, super, super clean image. That's why everybody's making sure they post that like he turns off his phone at 9:30 and he's always reading books and he
That
doesn't
he
pay attention.
slapped Britney
Yeah.
Spears. They slapped Britney
But you saw
Spears
how quick they
the
like
first
threw that under the
day.
rug. But
The
I'm saying they're
first
doing that
day
on
they slapped
purpose.
Britney Spears. That
But immediately they were like, it wasn't Wemby, it was somebody. Like you see how they like covered that up immediately. I'm just like the way like it's getting a little, I'm not gonna say it's getting fishy, but like they're making it to where it's like, all right, they're making Wemby supposed to be that next up person. Like I do agree, like
one.
SGA is a great pick, but the way that things are going, I think there's a pretty strong argument that they are trying to elevate Wemby to that spot,
Oh no, I mean,
especially
we
on
don't
post.
deny that they're trying to elevate Wemby to that spot. But the
Yeah,
question was who I think. When it comes to
yeah,
who they're trying to, it's obvious they're trying to do that with
yeah.
Wemby. But watching the being a fan of the NBA for almost like 40 years now, I look at the NBA as there was so many people they were trying to make the next Michael Jordan that did not become the next Michael Jordan, whether it was Vince
Right.
Carter, whether it was Harold Miner, whether it was Grant Hill. I mean, we could think of 1,000 people that was supposed to be that. LeBron was one of the first people, and that's what I do give LeBron. He was one of the first people to come out and live up to the hype. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because there was so many people that was supposed to be nice, big men. Remember Greg Odom? I got a list of at least 20 to 30 niggas that was supposed to be crazy and never panned out at all. So
Yeah.
but so much marketing could do before he's gonna have to live up to that. So people keep saying, "Oh, we're not trying to put too much pressure on him." It's impossible to promote somebody the way you promote them and then not be pressure on them to perform. He has
Right.
to perform. It's been too much stated about this kid, talking about he's an alien. At some point, he got to look like Alien 4, or we're gonna start calling him crazy. And he's one injury away from being a bust. I mean, that's just the truth because he's so tall,
Yeah.
foot or
Yeah.
knee. Out
For
of
me, when he didn't win the rookie or sophomore game tournament or whatever, that was like, come on, bro. For me, you got to step up. You're supposed to win that tournament at All-Star Weekend. Let the G
Yeah.
League or whoever get you out of here.
That's my point. So it's like you put all this marketing into the nigga. I thought he was gonna be the best player by far. I mean, 7'4", and he could do all of the things that he could do, but you can't put a heart in a man's chest, and that's what I'm really seeing.
And I'm not saying that this is right, but given that there is a lot of arguments about the league becoming soft, I just also wouldn't be surprised if, the umbrella was giving him this grace to get to where he needs to be. Because I know, like, when we're talking, we're like, yeah, he should have won this, he should have did this. And that is all true because you want to see people dominating out the gate. But because of how things are shifting, I just wouldn't be surprised. They're like, well, he had like a okay year, but if you still look at his stats were still good, which is why we're going to put him at the forefront for the next year. So it's just like, I could see how that could kind of be passed by. Not saying it's right, but I could see that happening.
Yeah. I hope he does. I hope he does exceptionally well because it would be heartbreaking for LeBron to leave and they don't have no new young guy. But then it'll fall back into who I told you it was. It's Shea or it's Ant-Man. Like right now, it's Shea or Ant-Man. It's not nobody else. I mean, everybody else is there, but those are the guys that look like they want to be that guy. Like Tatum don't give me he wants to be that guy. Like to some people he do, but to me he doesn't. And I still think he's a great player. But like Cam said, it's the eye test. I know what I'm looking at. Like when it gets tough, a nigga be like, man, yo, I need more niggas on my team. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different thing that you look for that he ain't passed that test yet for me. But I think he's a great player, talent-wise.
Great point. Okay. LeBron James said he's 50-50 on taking a retirement tour like Kobe or randomly announcing retirement like Tim Duncan. What route do you guys see him taking?
What do you mean a retirement tour? Like everywhere going, signing his jersey in the middle of the court? He's definitely doing that. LeBron is definitely having a retirement tour. I know Cam doesn't want to hear this, but LeBron might have the most celebrated retirement tour. I think his retirement tour is going to be bigger than even Jordan's was because this day and age, people celebrate, they give everybody their flowers. You know what I'm saying? Niggas who don't even need flowers get flowers. So they're probably going to do it big for LeBron, as they should. He did his thing. But I definitely don't see him passing this up. He's going everywhere, probably twice. He's going to go everywhere once and then say, my bad, I'm not retiring. He going to play with his son. and get 2 retirement tours. I got him doing 2. I want to be on the record for this too. I got LeBron having 2 retirement tours. The first one, and then the one when he switch up and play with his son.
I kind of agree a little bit, except for the 2 retirement tours. If I had to guess, I say he just retire without the tour, so that way that gives you leeway in case you want to come back, and then you be like, nah, you know what? I'm gonna come back the next season and play again, and then do the real tour, retirement tour. So that's the only reason I think that I kind of agree with Mason as far as, but I don't think it'll be 2 tours. I think he'll just retire and say it's over, and then the next year pop back up like, now I got something left in the tank. Pause. That's if I had to guess. That's what I
think. I can see that, Killer. I can see him actually acting like he retired, take the whole year, go travel with his son, working him out.
Cam Newton has suddenly found himself at the center of a terrifying situation, and social media has been going crazy trying to make sense of what happened. A video rapidly spread across the internet, appearing to show the former NFL MVP getting confronted and attacked by 3 people at a youth football camp in Atlanta, until police eventually arrived and brought the chaos under control. But here's where things get even crazier. Apparently, this is far from the first time Cam has become involved in some kind of drama at one of these camps. Over the past few years, several clips have made the rounds showing kids getting bold with him, mentioning his Super Bowl defeat, his problems finding a team in free agency, and even openly disrespecting him right to his face. Somehow, Cam keeps finding himself at the center of another moment that explodes all over the internet. However, reports about this particular incident indicate that Cam may have actually been attempting to stop another altercation when everything suddenly shifted and he became the target. And once you actually look closely at the footage, you won't believe how composed Cam appeared to be. 3 people were coming toward him, and somehow he was shoving grown men back as if they barely had any weight. But that's also exactly what makes this entire incident so disturbing. This happened in Atlanta, a place where the presence of firearms is a serious concern, and that changes the potential danger of a confrontation like this completely. If even one person involved had pulled out a weapon, what looked like another viral sports incident could have ended with someone seriously injured or worse. That's why some people are now questioning whether Cam should consider stepping away from youth football camps altogether, especially when so many of his appearances seem to attract unpredictable situations. And unfortunately, there's another major problem Cam has to consider. Even if he feels justified in taking stronger action to defend himself, his options are nowhere near as simple as they would be for an ordinary person. His wealth, celebrity status, and public reputation create an enormous amount of pressure because one split-second decision could send his name across every headline and potentially trigger lawsuits, even if his intention was simply to protect himself. Now, let's jump over to the NBA, because there's another heated conversation developing that has nothing to do with Cam, but is getting almost as much attention. Anthony Edwards recently made it clear that he believes he is a better basketball player than both Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Luka Doncic. That is one extremely confident statement, right? And to be completely fair, it's difficult to ignore the incredible physical gifts Edwards brings whenever he steps onto the court. Anthony Edwards has quickly established himself as one of the most explosive athletes playing in the NBA right now. His burst, his leaping ability, and the way he attacks the basket while finishing through contact are qualities that nobody can seriously question. But this is exactly where the debate gets interesting. Being a truly great basketball player requires much more than spectacular highlights, powerful dunks, and unbelievable athleticism. It requires staying consistent. It requires having the mentality to deliver when the pressure is at its absolute highest. And for Ant, there's another layer to the discussion that extends beyond what happens between the lines. Certain situations from his personal life have also generated significant attention and become part of the public conversation. When you're being discussed as someone who could eventually become the face of an entire league, those headlines can't simply be separated from the overall picture. The NBA needs superstars who create must-see moments on the court, but it also benefits from having stars who aren't constantly surrounded by controversy away from it. Now, compare that with someone like Shai, who tends to keep a much lower profile, consistently performs at an elite level, arrives looking polished, and generally avoids becoming the headline for the wrong reasons. That kind of controlled public image can be incredibly valuable when a league is trying to build a superstar into a global brand. And that's where this argument becomes much bigger than simply deciding who has the better statistics. Is the NBA going to choose its next face strictly based on talent, production, and what happens during games? Or will the league eventually favor the superstar it believes can handle the biggest spotlight with the least amount of off-court risk? Because right now, players such as Victor Wembanyama are being positioned as disciplined, focused young superstars with that quiet, stay home and read before bed type of image, while other players with enormous talent can sometimes lose momentum because distractions outside basketball become part of their story. Still, when everything is said and done, there's one thing most basketball fans can probably agree on. The player who reaches the championship finish line first could ultimately have the strongest argument for becoming the true face of the NBA. Skill can get you invited into the conversation, but championships are what usually separate the contenders from the player wearing the crown. So, between Cam Newton becoming involved in a frightening incident at a youth football camp and Anthony Edwards boldly putting himself into the conversation with some of the NBA's biggest young stars, the sports world has certainly given fans plenty to talk about. These are two completely different situations, yet both show just how much pressure and attention modern athletes face, whether they are performing under the bright lights or simply trying to live their lives away from competition. All right, that's where we're going to wrap this one up. If you enjoyed the breakdown, drop your opinion in the comments and let us know exactly where you stand. Do you agree with Anthony Edwards that he belongs above Shai and Luka? And after everything that has happened, do you think Cam Newton should finally step away from youth football camps for good?